Hi all, welcome back to more of the other side of the hill. So this will be part 58 now. Right, so I've been trying to catch up, watching back videos. I've managed to get a lot done. Um, uh, I've released part 52 at the moment when I'm speaking here right now. And this is 58, so you can see I'm still a bit behind. And I was watching part 53 and I've spotted a mistake. Which I'm not going to try and fix. That's a problem when I race on, I suppose. And when I say race on, I mean not like release a video and watch them back before. I like to catch the errors myself, so at least I can then say, look, I made this mistake, and that if I hadn't recorded as much, I might be able to fix it. It would have been a tricky fix, but yes, if I'd seen it before recording the next part, like part 54, I probably would have been able to fix it. Probably. But then, maybe not as well. It might have been too messy. So the mistake was, and I'm slightly worried, in case I've made this mistake before. That's my bigger concern. Now, what card was it? I'll tell you what card it was. It's the very first card we drew. Of course, thing is, the deck might have shuffled up again, the combat deck. This was the very first discard of what we've got just now. And I think it was either this card or it was a card with the same result. I'm just starting to doubt myself now. This card here, 1944 Soviet faction on attack, says draw a strategic event and then have a combat with 3 dice. Now, if I'm correct in my mistake, which I think I am, I looked at this card, or a card with the same symbols on it, and counted it as a satellite reduction in 3 dice. Now, you can see, here's the one that I thought it was. However, that was in 1943, you can see. But that's what I thought I've seen. I mean, they're not similar. You shouldn't really misinterpret both of them. They both got yellow on them. And that's a bit that's thrown me. But I'm watching it back and I've said in the video, this is a satellite reduction with no satellite armies, and I give myself an extra hit. I'm pretty sure that is the actual symbols that are there. I'm going to double check that again now, so I'm starting to doubt myself. I'm thinking it might have been the satellite reduction, but I don't think so. So I gave myself an extra hit in the attack, and I should have been drawing a strategic event instead of that. Now we ended up, it was a poor combat. This is where we retreat. I'll tell you what it was. It was we were still in Ukraine, and I didn't mind having the retreat. The difference ended up being 4 hits to them, 2 to us. It should have only been 3 hits to them and 2 to us, because it shouldn't have been a satellite reduction. They shouldn't have got that extra hit. So in actual fact, it was worse for us, the combat. However, I should have been drawing a strategic event in its place, so I don't know what that would have ended up being. I'm not going to try and work out that what strategic event it should have been and what the outcome, because there's so many knock-on effects that it's just going to wreck things. So unfortunately, we have to let that one go. Like I say, I feel it was probably worse for me, but it might not have been, because we don't know what the strategic event was. I do struggle with saying that word. Sounds like I'm slurring it. So unfortunately, going to have to let it go. But I will just double check that again, just in case I've thought I've made a mistake and I've not. But anyway, a couple other things I wanted to say. What were they? What were they? Yeah, I was looking at the situation, just watching back on that part 53 probably, and then just considering what's going to happen here as things close in on us. And I want to say we started, yeah, you can see that up in the resource track there, that 8 is highlighted in a yellow circle. I I think that's what you start. That's what we started the game with, isn't it? You only start with 8, and these 8 are based on your Festung sectors, which are Germany's home areas, aren't they? Now let's just have a look at them. Now the furthest one out here is Königsberg. So that's one. Stettin, Prague, Vienna. So I mean, although Prague isn't part of Germany and Vienna's not, but they took Prague's, what is it? Well, Vienna's Austria, isn't it? Prague. I don't know. Right, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, so Königsberg, Stettin, Prague, Vienna, Munich, and then we've got Frankfurt here, I think, yeah. Ruhr, I think that's Ruhr, and then finally we've got Hamburg. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and then I was thinking to myself, I was like, there's 1, 2, 3 of these over here, not really well defended. We've already got this one coming into southern France, try to take it over. I mean, yes, I'm trying to put a stand and try and defend it. We are going to get more land-ins. I know I'm going to lose some of these. I want to say, again, without looking over the rules, if we lose one of them, then the marker just goes from there. Like, if they take Frankfurt, this comes and goes in here, I think. And then once we've got 3 of these in here, and a victory check step, victory check phase, I will double check all this. This is what I'm thinking. I win a victory check, I check down here. Well, why not? Why not make it clear to you, Grant? Let's just go to victory determination. No, that's not. It's in that phase after supply. What phase is that then? It's for the back, I think. For the back. So victory check. It's on page 23, 4.7.3. So you check for the collapse of Germany. So it says if there are 2 control discs or fewer in the collapse of Germany box. So if I've got 2 or less, if we've got 1 or 2 or 0, then there's no effect. We move on. However, if there's got 3 of them in there, I'm just going to put this back before I forget. If we've got 3 of them in there, as you can see, if there are 3 axis, I wonder if this has got to do with the fanaticism as well. No, I don't think it is. If there are 3 axis control discs or more in the collapse of Germany box, the head OKW must roll 1d6. If the result is higher than the number of axis control discs in the collapse of Germany box, there is no effect. So as long as we roll a 4, 5 or a 6, while there's 3 of them in there, we're good. If the result is equal to or lower than the number of axis control discs in the collapse of Germany box, the game ends and all players lose, also in solitaire. So hang on. If there are 3 or more. Yeah, so the other ones must go in here. And you can see there's 8 of them in total, and that's as many as we get. But, I mean, once we've got 6 in there, then the die roll can't be 1, can it? Alright? Yeah, even if we've got 5 in there, we've still got the chance of rolling a 6. Is that right? Do we need to roll higher? If the result is higher, there's no effect, yeah. So if it's lower than, what about if it's equal? Is it equal to or lower than? Equal to or lower than, yeah. So once we've got 3 in there, we do that die roll. If we get a 3 or less, game's over, we lose. And then, but obviously, the more of them go in there, and then once we've got 5 of them in, once we've got 6 of them in there, we get to that die roll, there's no point in rolling the dice, we've lost. So, yeah. So just showing the importance. I mean, I know I'm going to get some of these in here, and probably from there, but we need to try and protect these as best as we can, I suppose. You know, I don't want to be sort of saying, oh, well, just retreat from there back into Northern Italy, because then that loses me Frankfurt. So I want to try and be strong and hold this. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm sure there was one other thing I wanted to mention. I can't think of what it is now. Yeah. It was our local offensive. And I'm thinking we're going to fail this local offensive. Maybe I realise this already, and maybe I spoke about it. Because we failed attacking from northern Italy into southern Italy. That was our local offensive. That was just the first operations phase of the summer. So once we come to military director's objective check, because there's still an operations phase to come, we've not then failed, and we're going to get the chance to do it again. Now, I was asking about, do I still need to place this pawn? Can I just give up on it now without taking the fanaticism hit? Well, I don't think that's the case. In fact, I think if I choose not to place this pawn, that card gets discarded, and we take a fanaticism hit. So, but I can still succeed, you know what I mean? Okay, we got a half decent card and the dice didn't go for us, but I still can go for this again. I mean, we've got a Western offensive and a Soviet offensive to come to see what, before we get around to looking at that again. But we still have the two armies. What was the result then? We must have took a hit. Yeah, we had 3 armies in there, didn't we? So, but it's possible I could move another army in, possibly, maybe, and try and have a go at that again. I mean, I think I've got to place a pawn anyway. So why not actually try and succeed, I suppose. Anyway, okay, well, we'll get around to that. Right, let's just move on. So we are in the summer of 1944, and we're in the first operations phase, but remember there is 2, and we're in the Western offensive, and there's a landing marker still there. Even though they have landed already this year, there's 2 landing markers now as from 1944. So, and there's 2 operations. So there's, if for some reason they don't succeed at landing in the first operations phase, then they've still got a chance in the second one, right? So if there's a landing marker in the landed resolve landing, the landings will occur in the winter. Cross-reference the season and the current year's row in the landing table to determine the landing may occur. Okay, so I'm going to draw a combat card, and we're checking for landing in the summer of 1944. And yes, indeed. So 1944 in the summer and fall, what would have landed? That was card number 13. So maybe we might have got lucky with a lower card. So yeah, we're going to get a landing. Now the numbers are 18, 20, 19, 25, 21. Right, I'll set that aside. So it's got to be, what is it? Neutral, occupied, or satellite. Well, there's no neutral areas. There might be some either occupied or satellite options. Right, 18's the first one. It's going to be Great Britain, isn't it? So it's not occupied, satellite, or neutral for that matter. The next one was 20. I want to say that's where we landed already. It was Northern France, and this is D-Day. This is the D-Day landing, isn't it? So unfortunately for us, this actually happened in the spring of 1944 rather than happening now in the summer. So they've already landed there. So that's, we move on to the next number, the next option. So the next one on the card is 19, and that's Belgium, Holland. Right, okay. Right, the good thing again is they only land in Calais then. Well, that's what it's going to be, isn't it? So it was 18, 20, and then 19, which is Belgium, Holland. 19. So, how do we deal with this again? It's not neutral, so we place a Western control disc in the landing sector, and we roll if there's multiple options. There is only the one option. You can see it's in Calais. So that goes in there, and then we are kicked back to Antwerp. We're not going to lose. There's no resource here, so that's good. So, yeah, I mean, we're picked back to, it's not Island Grant, River. Yeah, just watch myself back talking about islands and things. Okay, so that goes back to there, and then we move the access control disc to the next ward number, which I've just done, 92. Place a landing marker in the chosen landing sector, so it goes into Calais. Not that that's really going to matter. We're not going to attack anyway. And a no Western offensive marker, so they can't come at us in the first operations phase. However, they can in the second. So, yeah, not good. And now we're starting to get messed about. And then this goes away. It's not occupied anymore. It will become disputed. Where are the blue ones? None of that matters. It's going on this disputed side at the moment anyway. So disputed. There wasn't a resource, so we're not losing that. So we've just been knocked back into Antwerp. Belgium, Holland, right? Okay, yeah, that's it, and that. That's that. Well, but they can't attack this offensive, but however, the second one they can. Right, so we don't need that card anymore. That's done. That's a landing done. Now we move on to play some combat pawns. So I think I've got a feeling we might have 4 this time. So we have disputed Northern France. Now Belgium, Holland is not an option because it's no offensive. We have disputed Southern France. And we have adjacent Turkey. Maybe there isn't only 3. No, yeah, and adjacent Northern Italy. Adjacent to Southern Italy. Look at the rest of them. Spain's not an option anymore. Belgium, Holland, like we said, is oh gosh, right. Hang on here. I messed this up. Yeah, I've not really thought about this. When we landed in the spring, it was in northern France, so no offensive marker went in there. Which is fine. However, this could be a big screw up I've made. Or have we... No. Have we had a combat in southern France yet? Maybe we've not. Well, I guess what I'm thinking about here is, while this is disputed, can't an attack be made from... Well, in actual fact, that's adjacent to that, and it's adjacent to that. Right, let's get the rulebook looked up for that, just to make sure I'm not being silly here. So it's when you're checking to place combat pawns, isn't it? Well, it's the bit you're looking at in the... I'm on the sequence of play cards, so I prefer to... And I know there was a bit of rata that said, there's no Western offensive, like, we can't have a combat in here, but the rata said also you can't have a combat in here because it's adjacent to a no Western offensive marker. I get that. I guess what I'm concerned about is, while there was a no Western offensive marker in there and that's adjacent, could this not have attacked into there? Is that silly? Sounds sort of daft. Right, hang on. Right, in the Western Offensive segment, which starts on page 20 and carries on to page 21, 4.5.2 Combat. Place one allied combat pawn in any area that meets either of the following conditions. So, right now, let's just say... Now, I think what I really need to do is go back and see if we've carried out any kind of Western offensive in southern France. Because if we're not, then we've not made a mistake. However, I still think, well, the two conditions are that meet the criteria for an Allied combat pawn going in is the area contains a disputed marker and a Western controlled disc. Disputed marker, Western controlled disc, disputed marker, Western controlled disc, right? And then the other option is the area is controlled by the Axis and adjacent to an area controlled by the Western faction. Well, Denmark and Norway is adjacent. No, it needs to be controlled. Okay, right. That covers that. That's fine. That's good. Okay, yeah, I'm being silly there. Right. Just for some reason thought, have I not been thinking about that straight? But that makes sense. They need to actually control the area. Yeah. If it's a disputed area adjacent to an area, it won't get attacked. It needs to be in the actual area. The area is controlled by the Axis and adjacent to an area controlled by the Western faction. Right, that's fine. I don't think I need to go back and look then. No, I don't, because they don't control southern France, so they couldn't have made an attack into Belgium, Holland, if there was a time when I missed that anyway. Right, good, fine. Yeah, they're going to have to either control northern France or southern France to be able to do that. And again, for Denmark, Norway, they're going to have to control Belgium, Holland to be able to do that. Okay. Right. A bit of a silly moment, I think. But, yeah. Happens, Well, happens to me anyway. Okay, so 4 combats to deal with, checks to deal with. The last card was card 13, which is what we drew for the, what is it? The landed check. Now, right, so we're not getting anybody's help in here. And we've got a satellite army. There's a good chance that we are losing northern France and they're going to take Paris. Lemelson, right, let me see, my generals are involved there. So he's a new one to put in. He's only got seniority 4 though. Roll 1 grey die instead of 1 white die. Okay, that's good. Again, remember, we've not any OB help in any of these areas. Then you've got List, who's only good on attack. And then you've got von Stutnagel, which is the one that cancels the air hat. So he's pretty good. So I'm on card 13, so I sort of want to go in between somewhere. Or do we want to just take a chance and go for northern France right away? Well, maybe, because if we retreat... Can a satellite army retreat? I don't know. I think that's okay. Right, should we just go for northern France then? Just get it done with? Air naval control in the western front's at 1. Oh dear. And we're going to have 2 combats in the western front and 2 in the southern. So that's going to be bad as well. Oh, let's just go for it, Grant. You know, you're in trouble. And you're going to be in more trouble as these phases go on. So northern France, let's do it. Northern France combat is going to be into river, Paris. That land the marker, I don't think it does anything. We've got 1 satellite army, no AG head, no Norwegian general's going to come along either, remember, because we've no German armies. Okay, so let's draw combat 1944 summer. Sorry, hang on. Oh no, it's summer, but it doesn't matter. 1944 Western faction on attack. 1944, look at that, we got lucky, card number 3. Right, so 1944, Western faction on attack is 2 air rolls and 1 strategic event. So no combat. How about that? Perfect card. There's no point rolling for the air because it's at 1 anyway. So all we're going to do is draw a strategic event here, I believe. And Paris is going to stay safe until the next operations phase of the summer, probably. Right, there's only 2... Oh, actually, I lie. There's only 1 strategic event left. Okay, we must have whittled through them pretty quick. Right, 1 strategic event left. 1944, Western faction on attack. Yeah, I've got it right. So let's see what we get. Railways bombed. Can't be good. That doesn't count. Right, move 1 replacement marker 1 box to the left in the production table. Yeah, it's all coming at us, and then it goes into the new year. So it's 1 replacement marker 1 box to the left. Right. And then it's going to come back in 1945 and do some more. Right. Oh, we've got Wehrmacht, Luftwaffe. It's got to be the Luftwaffe, isn't it? I really need to keep my armies up. I think I lost fanaticism to get that up there as well, didn't I? But yeah, what can you do? I'm going to need my armies, so yeah, I'm going to drop that down then. Luftwaffe drops down. Right, that is, however, all on that card. Let's say we don't need to roll the air dice because it's at 1 and we survive in northern France for the moment anyway. Right, so that was a good card, so let's pick somewhere that might be a combat. Well, Turkey's probably our best option, I think, so let's go for that. Right, so combat check in Turkey. Yeah, we're defending on rough in Turkey as well, so right, okay, let's bring us to combat. Western faction 1944 on the attack. Yeah, well, you got it. Only card number 7 as well. So 2 air rolls and 3 dice for the Western faction on attack. Our air naval control is at 2 this time, so we'll roll on the 2 dice and 3, and hoping we don't get an aircraft, I suppose. Well, yeah, we will be. Right, so as a combat, no OB that's relevant, and we've got Stupanego, who can cancel an air result in the combat roll, remember. Right, now we need he's a seniority of 6, so we need a leading general here. We do have obviously a German army, so we're down to 4s. No, actually we've only got 1 4 and 4 3s to look at here. So, and we're defending in rough. Right, let me have a look. I've got 2 choices, unless I want to take a chance and get rid of the 4 seniority one so that we can dig at the 2s, but he's got his uses in the Eastern Front. Where are we defending in rough up there? 1, 2, there's 2 out of the 4 areas we're going to be defending in rough, so yeah, I think I should keep him. So, well, let's see what we've got. We've got, zoom out a little bit. Rinjanik. Remember, it's against the Western faction, that's why. Controlling perimeter, reroll 1 die, Nazis combat roll with a white blank result, new result must be applied. Okay. And then, oops, Otto Voer, I suppose it'll be. Otto Voer, defending an any. And the controlling perimeter, reroll 1 die, and the allied combat roll, new result must be applied. So they're quite, well, no, they're not really similar. I suppose it'd be better if I was rolling more than... Oh, yeah, you are rolling more than 1 white dice, Grant. You're rolling 2 white dice. their own 3 dice. So I think we'll take this guy then. So I may reroll 1 die Nancy's combo roll with a white blank. New result must be applied. Yeah, and he's a seniority of 3. I was to pick between 4s and 3s, and he's less than 6. Okay. Okay, that's us. Right, we've got 2 air rolls to do first. Special effects. So 2 blue dice. And we don't want to see an aircraft. There we go. Unfortunately, we get 1. That means the extra dice for them now. So I'm just going to knock our air naval control in the southern front down to 1. So now, and we're in the summer, it's at 1. So they were getting 3 dice. That's now been upgraded to 4. So, not great. Right, and any aircraft. Oh no, remember, Stupid Eagle can cancel an air 1. So I don't mind seeing 1 aircraft. Here we go. No aircraft. We do have 1 event in there, but it's 3 hats. So 3 hats, 1 event. Yeah, sort of wishing I maybe picked that other general now. I could have rerolled 1 of the hits. However. Okay, so over to us. We're getting 1 grey and 1 white, and then 1 extra white for defending in rough. And our special ability here is white blank can be re-rolled. And that's that. And we need 4 hits. So, need some guns. Here we go. That's an event. That's no lower than that. Right, well I can re-roll that. It's a white blank. But this isn't good. I need the guns to get a tie. So we reroll that through Erwin Janik. Try and get a guns. Well, at least it's a hat. Okay, so it's 3 to 2, I think. But it isn't as, as long as the deficit is just 1, it's not quite so devastating. I'm just looking up there. We do have a reduced army in the pool for this one. Right, that could determine where my combat goes next, I think. I think it's going to be southern France next. And the reason being is we're not going to have a reduced army in the pool. And if we took a hit here, that reduced army would go away. Whereas we take a hit there, 1 of them's got to go away anyway. I don't know if there's any logic in that or not, to be honest. Anyway, we've done our reroll. We can't cancel an air hit because they didn't get any, unfortunately. Right, 2 combat events. That could change things. We've seen them starting to get rather nasty now. So, first combat event. Here we go. Republic of Salo. If the status of Italy is not occupation, put this card down the bottom. Status of Italy is occupation. Move 1 satellite army from the game box to an Italian home area which is disputed or controlled by the Axis. Oh, we get a good card. So, status of Italy is occupation. That's good, that's fine, right? Move 1 satellite army from the game box, so from out of play, to an Italian home area which is disputed or controlled by the Axis. Right, so I got a satellite army. And I can put it, actually it's probably just northern Italy, which is not that bad. Yeah, because the Italian home areas are Libya, which we do not dispute or control. Southern Italy, which we do not dispute or control. Northern Italy, we control. Yeah, how about that? Let's try it. Move 1 satellite army from the game box to an Italian home area which is disputed or controlled by the Axis. Yes. Okay, I'll take that. That card's done. It won't be coming back. But it's done its thing. It's done something good, which is rather unusual. Right, that's the first event though. We've got 1 more to come. So here we go. Him or appointed head of army group. Sounds like it. Well, I don't know. I was going to say it might be good. Right. If there is only one German army in the combat or the control... No, that's probably not them. If there's only one German army in the combat, there wasn't, or the combat result is victory, it is not. It's going to be defeat. Put down the bomb. Well, we're not able to do that. Dismiss the activated head of army group in the area after resolving the battle. The owning player draws one backward card and then unrest +1. So dismiss the head of army group. Yeah, the AG head. So it's not going to be the other guy. What's his... That Stupenagel, which was... He was doing... Oh, no. He's also got a special that when he's dismissed or removed from play, add +1 to the unrest value. So our unrest is going up by 2. Going to knock fanaticism down again. Oh, dear. Okay, bad card. So he's going to be dismissed. And then, I mean... I still believe this whole drawing Black Orchestra cards again is silly, but I'm just doing it in case of... I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm being silly, so we're going to draw another one anyway. I'd shuffled the deck up again, and I'm drawing them when somebody gets dismissed. It's daft, I know. Right, that resolved the second... Well, it's not quite resolved it, but that's taking care of the second event. We've got one... Well, let's deal with this first. He's going to be dismissed. We've drawn the Black Orchestra card, unrest +1, right? But this card says that he's got a special conspirator. When dismissed or removed from play, add +1 to the unrest value. So my take is that that's going to add another +1. So unrest is going to go up by 2, so 1, and then when it hits there, that drops to there, and then that goes back to 0. So our fanaticism down to 3. He's been dismissed, which is rather sad. Could it not have been list? No, I suppose list is, if we are going for this attack in the second operation phase, is going to be useful. I need his marker as well. Well, it doesn't really matter, Grant, does it? What is his name again? Stupenagel. That's not it. Oh, no, he's in the AG, Grant. Yeah. So he's been dismissed. Well, that does mean that there should be a vacancy still. So that's going to create a vacancy there. And then I think this card's now dealt with. We've added the unrest, and then an unrest for him going away. Dismiss the army group after resolving the battle. So, yeah, technically we should resolve the battle first. And I've drawn that Black Orchestra card, which I think is just me being paranoid, if anything. Right, but I suppose you should have went away after the battle. The battle's 3-2. It is a defeat. And we've got to take 1. Well, I'm not going to take the retreat because I would lose a resource. I'm going to take a reduction. So that goes away and is reduced to that. So there still is a vacancy. We've still got 2 armies there. Combat's over. We're not losing ground. This guy did help actually. So he's been activated. Goes away. Right. And dice go away. Combat card goes away. Right. That was combat card 7. Yeah, and I was saying about the next one. Actually, hang on. That's even more reason, I think, to be attacking here now, because I think if we have a combat in here and I have to take a reduction, we lose the satellite army. Don't we? That comes priority before losing a reduced army. I'm pretty sure it does. It's been a while since we've had to deal with any satellite armies, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens. So let's go with southern France, where we've got Lemelson and we're defending in River. Kind of hoping for no combat, but anyway. 1944, Western faction on attack. 2 arrows and a 3. It's not a bad numbered card again, and that 3 is going to be a 4. We don't need to roll the air rolls because our air naval control, the Western Front, is at 1. So it's going to be 4 dice once we upgrade it. Right. We've got general wise, OB's irrelevant. Lemelson allows one grey instead of a white, defending an any, so okay. And then, right, he's a 4, so I can't appoint Walter Weiss. Where? I've left the 2s there, that's why. I hadn't put them back. So we can't. We've got 4s and 3s, but we can't pick the 4 because Lemelson's a 4. It needs to be less than him. So we can't pick one of the 3s. They're rolling 4 dice. We're rolling 2. One of which is going to be grey, but can we get anything here? So defending and river, Western faction. Yeah, well, we looked at him before, and the only guy is this, and I think I'll play him. He's a 3. Controlling player may reroll 1 die in ally combat roll. New result must be applied. So yeah, we go for him. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 generals left. And yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to come. Okay, right, so no point rolling their dice. So they're going to roll 3 dice but get a +1 because their naval control's at 1 and it's not the winter. So 4 dice for them. No good. And remember, air hits are going to be hits, so the only thing that can save us are combat events. And they sometimes do a bad job of saving you. Right, that's 4 hits. Air naval control's at 1, so that's a straight up 4 hits. Now hold on. We get to re-roll one of them with this guy. So re-roll 1 die in ally combat roll. New result must be applied. It doesn't matter. So I need to re-roll one of them. I'll take the aircraft then. So we're going to re-roll the AR. So they're sitting with 3 hits. We're really looking for a combat event here. That's the only thing that can help. Let me get a tank. Hang on. Right, so what have I done? I've re-rolled the dice into a tank, haven't I? Yeah. Yeah, I must have rolled it. It's in there. Sorry, I was on the phone for a bit. Okay, so still 4 hits. Fortunately, it wasn't planes, or that could have been worse. Yeah, the combat's in rubber. Right, okay. Okay, so we, in our role, this is in southern France, we've got 2 reduced armies, remember the combat's in river, so that's not helping. So it's 2 white dice. Lemelson upgrades one of them to a grey dice. So it's 1 grey and 1 white dice. So you can see we need both these to be guns, even just to survive an attrition here. And we get no rerolls of these. Here we go. Oh my god. Ah, well, that is... Oh, no. Oh, Grant, what are you going to do now? Okay. The dice are not on my side at the moment, I don't think. So, as you can see, well, this does nothing. We can't do any more with our dice. We've done what we can do. And the 1 grey dice, the one side that's not a hat out of the other 5 is an event, and that's what we got. You know, even a hat would have... Well, it still would have been painful. You really needed a guns and a hat to get maybe 43 or something. So this is going to be horrible. Right, we've got to deal with a combat event first. So unless we can find... Is there a best combat event in the deck for us, maybe, that like takes a situation like this? That would be nice. I don't think there will be, but anyway, here we go. Russian Partisans. Oh! That's the one, the Slavic cooperation. It is, yeah. So, well, we've played Slavic cooperation, and it says Set this card aside. The next time the combat event Russian Partisans is played, discard both of these cards. So, yeah, my take is we don't even need to look at this. We just get rid of it, right? So this is going away. It's done its job. So maybe thankful because this could have been even worse. That goes away. Let's just have a look at this again, just to make sure. I can't remember if I got it right or not. It says there, if the Slav Corporation political directive card has been played, discard this card. And that's what we had. So, but I just wanted to look at it again. Roll 1 Soviet die for every area in the USSR where there's at least one Axis army, apply 1 reduction in every area where a hit result is rolled, and then it would go into 945. So we'd be rolling for here, here. I think that would have been it. Only the two. You know? So that technically might not have been so bad. But you can see it as a bad card. So it's gone. It's done. So, yeah, it's not helped. It's not helping us in this combat. So that is our event done. And now I just want to cry because... Four hits to 0. Right? So... we don't care about the OB getting quest. Where are we here? In southern France. Yeah, we still don't care about him either. It's only OB Ost that we're concerned about. Right, what can we do here? Well, you know what's even worse here? Is Belgium, Holland and Denmark, Norway now going to get cut off? Okay, let's look at this carefully and see what happens again. We've got to take 4 reduction / retreats. We can only take a maximum of 3 retreats. So one of them has to be a reduction. Where are we? Advance and retreat. Yeah, I know. I want to see the retreat section, I think. Yeah, here. There it is. And we're now gonna allow this +1 attack into Northern Italy as well. This is horrible. Like, can I retreat into Belgium, Holland here? Yeah, I mean, I think I can. So, I don't think I can avoid... Oh, hold on here. No. I don't think I can avoid losing the 2 armies. Right, well, I can't take 4 retreats, so I can only take 3 retreats. If I take both of them and take 2 retreats, 1, and I don't want to come into here, so 2, I could go and retreat back into the Ruhr. I think that's how that works, because that's connected, and I can retreat, and we move the Axis control disk to the next war number sector, and move the Allied control disk to the sector. Right, if the Axis control disk is in the no. If the Axis control disk was in the 1 sector in the area, remove it from the map, replace the disputed marker. Right, move the armies in the area to an adjacent area or areas controlled by the Axis or with a disputed marker without exceeding stacking limits. So, I mean, I'm not moving armies, but is that? But can I retreat? As a maybe moved up to a maximum of 3 sectors. If there are unsatisfied hits, yeah, I have to retreat into an area that I've. In order to apply retreat, move the Axis control disk to the next war numbered sector. If further retreats must be applied after following the previous steps, they're applied in an adjacent area controlled by the Axis faction. Oh no. If more than one eligible is... Oh dear. I can't do this. I need to control the area, I think. No, there's 4 hits to take, Grant. I can't do this. I don't think. I can't retreat into Belgium, Holland because it's not controlled. I need to go into Northern Italy. Oh my. Right, forget about the armies, Grant, right? So, 1, 2, I'm taking... That's my 2 hits, right? These are back in the... Right, so I've got 2 more hits to take. And what I was hoping to do is... No, hang on. 1, 2... I'm not sure what I was hoping to do because... One, 2... Oh, no. This is getting worse. This could be really bad. I think I was thinking that 1, 2, and then retreat into here. I'm not counting right. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not what would happen. But I don't think I can do that anyway. I don't think I can do that. So I've got to take... every hit. Yeah, we never got any hits, did we? No, we didn't. It's 4 hits against 0. And we can only retreat 3 sectors. If further retreats must be applied after following the previous steps. So the previous steps... Right, let's just go through it slowly, Grant. 2 hits. I've still got 2 hits to take. So I'm going to retreat. I didn't already make a retreat. No, we were in Frankfurt to start with, right? So I'm going to retreat from there. If it's in the 1 box, I remove the marker from the area. Hang on, sorry. Where are we? If it was in the 1 sector, remove it from the map, replace the disputed marker line. Move all the armies in the area to an adjacent area controlled by the Axis or a disputed marker. Well, there's no armies. Remove the head of the army group. Eliminate any armies that couldn't be withdrawn. If further retreats must be applied. Yeah, it's not... I feel like I'm missing a step here. If further retreats must be applied after following the previous steps. How am I... If the Axis control disc was in the 1 sector, remove it from the map. Replace the disputed marker in the alignment box with the alignment marker of the faction indicated by the control disc in the area. Then the head of operation must follow these steps to withdraw armies. Oh, hold on here as well. Hang on. We are in a Festung sector as well. Let me bring these back. I'm sort of struggling with this. I mean, I was hoping I could go in there, but I think I've got to go in there. But let's just say it's 1, 2, and then my take on it would be 3. It's not 3 into Florence, is it? Or is it? Yeah, no, I think it is, Grant. I think it is. So hang on, if I was thinking I was allowed to do this, which I don't think I am, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I thought I was going to be able to do. And then I started thinking, no, once you retreat into here, Grant, that's your retreat. But then that's maybe not. That's not the case, is it? The first retreat is into there, where we are, and then there. But I don't think I can go in here anyway. So is it 1, 2, and then 3, 4, like that? I think it might be. However, just because this is a Festung sector, it says, if the access control disk is on a Festung sector, all retreat results in the area must be applied as reductions. The access control disk is removed from the map when there are no Axis armies left in the area. When an access control disk is removed from a Festung sector, follow these steps. Right, hang on. Right. I'm sort of a bit stuck here. So, right, but if I can't... So what it's saying is, because I'm in a Festung area, I cannot retreat. I think. So maybe we get out of this by just losing the Festung sector. I think I'm going to have to look more into this, to be honest. So I don't have the choice of retreating until I've taken reductions, because it says if it's on a Festung sector, all retreat results in the area must be applied as reductions. And what if you can't? Well, the access control disk is removed from the map when there are no Axis armies left in the area. Right? When an access control disk is removed from a Festung sector, follow these steps. So 1, 2, we have to take that, but we're still surplus of 2 hits to take. That's my worry. Right, but because this is in a Festung sector, we place and remove the access control... Right, this comes away. So that's the first step. It says remove the access control disk, and then do that. Place and remove access control disk in the Collapse of Germany box and the lowest available number. Well, I don't know. There's not numbers there, but is there? I mean, it's going in there. Right? Move the Allied control disk to the Festung sector. Right? Hang on. Okay. Replace the disputed marker in the alignment box with an alignment marker of the faction indicated by the control disk. So this is now going to be Western controlled. Now, although there's no... Well, the loss of resource once it becomes disputed anyway. However, this is when this kicks in, this little resource, because it's a Festung sector. It says... well, hang on. It says the leading general, all heads of army group in the area, and the head of the OB in the front box are they're dismissed. They're dismissed. And removed from play. 4.3.1. I'm going to have to look at that, because I don't know if that's going to affect unrest or not. And then step 5 is subtract 1 from the resource value in its track. And that's it. So I'm just wondering, because we've still got 2 hits to satisfy. But maybe the rules are, look, this is as extreme as it gets. They've taken Frankfurt, they've taken a Festung sector, it's the start of the collapse of Germany. Maybe it doesn't overrun into, maybe I don't need to be retreating more or taking more hits. I mean, I've lost all the armies anyway. I think that might be the case here, but I think I'm going to go and look it up. As I'm coming up on an hour there as well. Yeah, this is getting bad. We're struggling now, okay, so... Right, hang on, 4.3.1. 4.3.1, well, it's a dismissal of the... Yeah, it's just the same, it's a dismissal. So... I mean, we're not rolling dice for this, they are just straight up dismissed. So do we... I'm going to assume we add Unrest and we draw a Black Orchestra card for these guys. So, the leading general, all heads army group, and the head of the OB in the front are dismissed, removed from play, right? So, let's zoom out. Right, our OB and was the Western Front, yeah, is this guy, Von Dix. So, he's dismissed. Let me find his card. Right, he's dismissed. Just checking. There's nothing else on his card. There is. When dismissal removed from play, add +1 to that unrest value. Okay, right. So I'm going to keep this card here. So, and then Lemelson as our was our AG. So he's going to be dismissed. He's not got anything special there as well. So I'm going to put his card there and remove his marker up to the dismissed. And then finally, this was the leading general. He's nothing special in him either. Otto Voller is going to be dismissed as well. I'm going to have to find his marker. Is that relevant? Can't I find it? Right, hang on. Right, I found it. So that's his marker. No, you can see that or not. So he's dismissed as well. Right, now with that, well, I assume, I mean, it references 4.3.1. Yeah, I'm going to assume that we get unrest here. So these three are going. So it's going to give +1 unrest to each one of these. But this one's also going to give an extra +1. So I'm going to put 4 unrest to these three guys being dismissed. 4 unrest. Right, so 1, 2, 3. That goes down to 2. That goes back. 4. Okay, please let me know if I'm getting all this wrong. I'm also going to draw not 4 Black Orchestra cards. I'm going to draw 3. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm getting that wrong, but so 1, 2, 3, and again, I guess this is just for my peace of mind. That I'm sure we're not going to see any issue with that. But if I keep doing it, keeps me happier. Okay. The other thing was we lost the Festung sector. Right, that's the start of the collapse of Germany. We also lost a resource, so it's down to 11, which is also not good. And I think that is that. No, hold on. I'll tell you what's not finished yet. Is we need a vacancy here. Obviously, we don't need the vacancy in southern France. Turkey's been given a vacancy because we lost that guy as well. How did we lose him? Oh yeah, it was some event. Well, yeah, everyone else has us. Right, I'm going to say the combat's done there. I feel like we've got away with 2 hits, but it doesn't... I mean, I sort of feel that we should still be taking 2 more hits, and having to retreat, or well, we can't take a hit with these guys, but I would kind of thought we had to retreat into here or here, but I'm not sure the way it's written there. I get the feeling what I've done is the right way to do it, but I don't feel that comfortable about it, I have to say. Right, I'm at an hour and 4 minutes. I think I'm going to try and ask this question out there. Or, first of all, search for it, because it's quite possible somebody else has been confused about how to deal with this properly. So, yeah, I'll go away and do that. Right, I better take that out of there as well. We've still got a combat check to make here. What I think I'm going to do is leave that there, and then I'm going to leave that combat card there and take 2 of the hits away. And just leave the 2 hits there. I mean, I can look back in the video and see where I'm at. Just to remind myself that we've really not satisfied all 4 hits here. And yeah, I'm not sure if I need to or not. Or once they take a Festung sector, if it just kind of stops there, you know. All of this is not good. Anyway. Right, okay, I'm going to try and find the answer to that question before I come back and start another part. It might not be tonight, although it might be. More than likely tomorrow, though. I should be able to get the chance. I feel like things are starting to slip away from us. Yeah, okay. I'll be back when I'm back anyway. Cheers.